up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back to review Tyler Perry's Sistas. Yes, I am back for season 5, even though I missed the whole second half of season 4. I watched it, I just did not review it. But let's be honest, it's not like I missed that much. So let's jump right into the episode, which was titled Pain and Suffering. Even though we have been going through a lot of pain and suffering through these seasons, Tyler, we gonna get to it. Because Tyler played with us. Tyler really played with us. How we gonna leave on a cliffhanger with baby girl and old boy? What are their names? Maurice and Sabrina. They supposed to be hauled off to jail. Why we only got 45 seconds of Sabrina at the jailhouse, y'all? 45 seconds. But we had all of this Andy. And all of this Fatima. You know what? I'll get there. So we start off with Andy and Fatima. They're in the office and they're supposed to be going over a case. However, you have Fatima is over here huffing and a puffing. She about to blow a damn gasket. And Andy is like, what is going on? And she's like, oh my gosh, I don't like when men, they want to call a woman out their name, call her a bitch or whatever. And she's like, oh my God, who calls you that? And she's like, no man alive, or however Fatima worded it. So then she goes on to tell Andy, well, you know, when I saw Gary, he said he was going to meet up with his lawyer. And I told him that, you know, you weren't available. She's like, well, I'm not his lawyer. So Fatima's like, yeah, I know. He was like, yeah, that bitch ain't my lawyer. And I'm just like, okay, but why didn't you say this initially? Because last time I checked, y'all let me know if I'm tripping. Didn't Fatima and Andy already discuss Gary being there and him meeting up with Hayden? Or am I tripping? Let me know. But either way, oh, now Andy's in an uproar. And now she's like, oh, I'm going to show him who the bitch is. I said, Andy, what's all this energy, girl? Because you should have been stopped fooling around with Gary seasons ago. Like, if we really want to be technical and break down the relationship of Andy and Gary, at this point, I don't know who's worse than the other. I really don't. But let's go ahead and move on. Now let's jump on over to Karen. She is in the hospital. The doctors aren't telling her anything. She doesn't know what's going on. Of course, Pam is there because she's the one who brought her to the hospital. And you already know Karen is being typical Karen, pushing people away. She's literally trying to tell Pam, hey, you can go ahead and go back to the salon. I'm okay here. And Pam is just trying to support her. Next thing you know, the phone rings. I thought it was going to be Aaron because y'all know he a bugaboo. But it happened to be her mom. I said, where y'all found her at? Karen's mama been MIA since that man got killed. I feel like it's been a minute since we've seen Karen's mom. Nonetheless, her mom calls and is like, well, I'm on my way. I'm going to come see you because you don't sound right on the phone. You know, mamas already know something's going on with their daughters or their children, period. So she lets her know she in the hospital. All right, boom. One thing I will say about that scene is that you can tell that Karen did not want to tell her mom where she was because then she would have had to, you know, open up the can of worms. You have to have an open conversation that has to be honest that, yeah, mom, I'm having a baby. Oh, where's the child's father? Here's the thing, mom, I don't know which one is the daddy. Yeah, Karen does not want to face that. But let's go ahead and move on because now we have to go back to Gary and Hayden. Two people I cannot stand. Let's start off with Hayden hyping himself up and bigging himself up about the women that he's had and how they all like Andy and blase, blase. So Gary's like, baby, what woman do you have? Because we haven't seen you with one, Hayden. And he's basically saying, no, he said, what woman is on Andy's caliber? Baby, he said Fatima. You did not have Fatima. You had sex with Fatima one time. Uno. Just one. And you out here acting like Fatima was your girl. Y'all was together for some years and then it got rocky. No, baby, that's not how that went, Hayden. So, anyways, according to Hayden, they're about to teach this bitch a lesson. AKA, they gonna teach Andy a lesson. Baby, she swung that door open and said, what bitch? What bitch you gonna teach a lesson? I said, okay, Andy. So anyways, you already know she got her backup Fatima with her, right? So she trying to get an understanding on, like, according to y'all, this has something to do with me. So what's the issue? So she then learns that Gary wants to get his apartment back. He wants the car back. And he trying to sue for pain and suffering. Baby, Fatima's like, pain and suffering? After all you put her through? And then Gary says, put her through? I said, well, you know what? Let me just play a little bit of devil's advocate. A lot of that pain and suffering that Andy went through, she volunteered it. She really volunteered it. She could have left him a minute ago. But she kind of stayed around and stuck there for a little bit. But I digress. So you know that Hayden, he starts to threaten Fatima because he got a damn restraining order against her. And then we have this whole moment of Fatima being upset and she's stuck in this like mode and whatever. Let's move on over to the fact that we have Gary and Andy trying to have a heart-to-heart. And I said, you know what? Tyler, stop playing with me. Because how many times are we going to have to sit here and listen to Andy and Gary go through these heart-to-heart moments, and it still leads to them messing around? It never ends. Ugh, cannot stand it. But nonetheless, you have Andy. She is going on and on about how, he's doing this to hurt her, and, how can you let Hayden call me a bitch, all this stuff, and you got me the apartment so that way you can spy on me, Gary, and you got me this and that for this reason and that reason, Gary. I'm just like, okay, now where's this conversation going? So Gary, he was like, listen, I'm having a conversation with my lawyer right now. I think you should leave. Y'all think Andy left? No. He was gonna get these crocodile tears, okay? So she grabs his hand and is like, Gary, this is the end of us. I'm like, Andy, you are dramatic. So then next thing you know, she grabs the papers off of Hayden's desk and is like, what do you want from me, Gary? Do you want the car? You want the penthouse back? I can fight this case and I'll win. Because you put everything in my name and the only thing you didn't do was pay the taxes on it. And I've already done that. I said, wait a damn minute, y'all. Wait a minute. When did Andy have time to pay taxes on this stuff? When? Because I promise you just got the damn penthouse. It ain't even been a month. Okay. They already asked you for the tax money? Really? Okay, girl. And then she went on to talk about how he put her in a bind because she sold her place and she had nowhere to go because she thought she would be living in the fancy high-rise penthouse. And I'm like, when did Andy sell her place, y'all? I thought the whole point was that she wasn't going to sell her place. Just in case Gary pulled some foolishness like this. I mean, maybe she's just telling him this. But I'm just like, what's the timeline, Tyler? Tyler, what's the timeline? So next thing you know, Hayden gets kicked out by Gary. He wants to have some alone time with Andy. And he's like, what are we doing? She's the only one that makes him this way. Blase, blah. I'm like, we've had this conversation before. Just let the relationship go. And then out of nowhere, you have Gary mentioning, oh boy, like, oh, is Robin better than me? And Andy's like, this has nothing to do with Robin. Like, I wish he would let that go. But he seriously is not going to. So she's like, this is finally over, blase, blah. Y'all, how many episodes y'all think we got before they hook up again? Please let me know. So Andy says that, after they've told each other that it's over, that she's going to be fair and she's going to give everything back because that's not what she wanted. She just wanted Gary. I said, girl, if you don't cut it out, there's no way you about to sit up here and play in this man's face talking about all I wanted was you when you wouldn't even let him up in the penthouse that he paid for. Are we forgetting this? Okay, Andy. Now, one thing that I will say is that Andy was shedding tears of pain because she knew she was about to lose that fancy car and she was about to lose the penthouse. Because here's the thing. Did y'all notice how many times she said, I'm going to give everything back. I'm going to be fair. I'm going to give you everything. She was waiting. She was waiting for Gary to say, no, it's all right. I'm going to let you keep that. She was waiting on him to say that. And I feel like that's what the real point of all her tears. Y'all let me know what y'all think. All right, now moving on, we hop on over to this scum of the earth, aka Q. He is at Maurice's apartment, living large and in charge because he done sent Maurice to jail. He ends up calling the little cop guy, and he wants to know, did they get arrested? He's like, yeah, we got him. The only thing is that you're going to have to testify against him. He's like, oh, okay, no problem. And then the guy's like, oh, well, you're going to have to get a job. Q is like, well, can you help me with that? Q can't even get a job. Like, what the hell? Q is so worthless. I cannot stand his character. Now, the cop says, oh, yeah, I think I'm going to be able to help you out with that. Here's my thought. I know he's not about to go to Danny and see if Q can get a job at the airport. Talking about some Q ain't got no record. You mean to tell me hoe-ass Q ain't got no record? Stop playing with me. I know he been locked up for something. He has to have been. So, next thing you know, he gets off the phone with him. Boom. Here comes Calvin. He like, what the hell you doing here? Like, you don't need to be here. You should be gone. Actually, you know what? I'm going to move out. I said, hold up, swole up. Because weren't you the one saying, oh no, Maurice, you should let him stay. It's going to be okay. Oh, when he made passes at you, and now you realize that Q ain't worth nothing. Now you want him to move out? Okay, Calvin. So he's like, man, I keep getting these phone calls from the jailhouse. It's so weird, right? And I'm just like, Calvin, you mean to tell me you're not going to answer not a one call? I think that is so ridiculous that you've been getting calls all day long and you decide that you're not going to take not a one call. Calvin, stop being a weirdo and answer the phone so that Maurice can tell you what's going on. All right, now let's hop on over to Karen because she's still in the hospital. Ain't nobody came to see her, tell her anything about what's going on. It's bothering me that she's still sitting up like this. I feel like she should be laying down or something, but what do I know? So her mom comes in. I said, look at her. She done cut off the locks. So she comes in. She's concerned about her daughter. Karen has to be honest, about the whole situation that she's pregnant. She had this bleeding happening. That's why she's in there. She doesn't know who the daddy is, if it's Aaron or if it's Zach. Okay, boom. That was pretty much that whole scene. Nothing really special happened besides the fact that her mom had to remind her that, she's stressing out and she needs to chill out. Also, side note, to me, now that I've watched that scene, I'm like, you know what? We should have had a scenario where Aaron would have to go see his mom and she could have played his mom. Because I feel like, they kind of look alike, her and Aaron. But nonetheless, let's move on. So we have Fatima and Andy. They are getting ready to leave the office, right? And Andy's like, oh, well, where are you rushing off to? And she's like, oh, I'm going to go see my man, blase, blase, blah. You already know Fatima is sprung over Zach, right? Now, this is the part where I said, Tyler, you're playing with us. You don't give a fuck about continuity at all. Like, we know that you don't care about the wigs and all that stuff. But y'all, Zach didn't even have no facial hair at the end of last season. And y'all know how this show works. It's literally the same day. I can't. Zach came in with a full beard. a full beard. My God. And I can't lie. That is one reason why, this isn't a reason why, but I really want to watch Zatima. I told myself I'm going to watch it over the weekend, and I'm going to do some reviews on Zatima. But I'm trying to figure out, how does Zatima fit into the same world as Sistas? Because I feel like it's just going to be like a totally different show. Let me know if y'all have watched Zatima. Does the storyline in Zatima actually fit into the Sistas world or no? But nonetheless, Fatima ends up leaving with Zach. Oh, and by the way, Hayden comes out of his office and he trying to act up, talking about how he has a restraining order and blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares, Hayden. Bye. So we next got a filler scene, and I'm trying to figure out, Tyler, what was going on there. We had this couple who was like cussing and fussing at Danny's counter at work. And I was like, you know what? This is unnecessary. Where's Sabrina? Where is Maurice? How is he handling jail? What is going on? Like, that's what I want to see. We've had way too much Andy, way too much Fatima. Where is Sabrina? Moving on. Oh, who shows up to the hair salon? Mr. Bugaboo himself. It is Aaron. He's over here talking about how Karen's not answering the phone for me. I don't know where she is. I don't know what's going on. Pam is like, listen, I don't know where she at. She ain't here. I'm about to close up this shop. You can go. Next thing you know, Andy shows up. She's looking for Karen. Now, here's what got me. Aaron gonna tell Pam, oh, we gonna go back to Karen's office and have a conversation. Baby, Pam is one better than me, because I would have told Aaron, have you lost your damn mind? First of all, you're not going to go back into Karen's office. You're not employed here. That's not even your woman. She ain't your girlfriend. She ain't nothing to you. So how do you feel just because Andy is her best friend, another person who's not employed here is going to go back into Karen's office? What you can do is have that damn conversation outside of this damn salon. That's what you can go do. Y'all can go sit in the parking lot. Y'all can do some parking lot pimping and have a conversation. Because ain't no way. So, they go back there, have this conversation, right? Aaron wants to know if Andy knows anything about what's really going on between, the whole, is the baby Aaron's or is it Zach's? And she's like, that's my best friend. She already told me. I already know everything that's going on. She don't know where Karen is at the moment, but she know everything that's going on. Whatever. So Andy then flips it on him and is like, so you told Gary to sue me? And he's like, nah, I didn't tell him that. Here's my whole problem with this conversation. I don't care how much of a man of God that Aaron is supposed to be. There is no way he gonna sit up here and say that Gary is a good guy. When you were in his office and saw that he was spying on this woman, there is no way you're gonna sit up here and say Gary's a good guy. Do you know about how his mom was? Blah, blah, blah. I don't give a damn how his mama was, how she treated him. Who cares? Gary is a messed up individual. He has disrespected Andy on all types of levels, but also he's abusive. There is no Gary's a good guy. So Aaron, you can save that. Moving on. So we now have Zach and Fatima. He brought her back to where they first met, where, he was on his bike and she hit him or whatever, and how he basically said if they ever get to a place where they don't want to be together or they get into like a big fight, they'll come back to that place and remember, all this stuff, blah, 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 real cutesy. Fatima is like, yeah, this is cute, but I want some food. Where's dinner? She was hungry. That was pretty much it. I mean, it was a cute scene. I feel like it was, a little taste of probably what's going to happen on Zatima. And that was cute. That was cute for them. Let's move on. Y'all, we finally see Sabrina. The episode is almost over. And again, we probably got like a solid 45 seconds. So, Sabrina has handcuffs on. And y'all, we have a new cop with a new bad attitude. Remember that one girl who was always flirting with Zach? Well, y'all, she done been replaced by this new girl with a nasty attitude. She basically tells Sabrina, like, girl, get ready because you about to be strip searched. And Sabrina's like, what? What are you talking about? What? Like, Ditzy Sabrina knows nothing about jail. So, the lady's like, okay, then is your hair, is it real or fake? And she's like, these are faux locks. She's like, okay, well, do you know how to take it down? And again, Sabrina's like, what? What do you mean take it down? And the lady's like, yeah, you're going to have to take that down or we're going to cut it out your head. I was like, oh, Lord, this is not going to be good for Sabrina. So Sabrina, of course, is like, I haven't done anything. Why are you treating me like this? All this stuff. The lady was like, well, you know what? She's being unruly. Go ahead and cut that hair out of her head. I was like, ooh, this is rough. I'm like, it's crazy to me how they took Sabrina straight to prison. But it seemed like Zach, he was just hanging out in a jail cell like if it was a weekend bid or something. Like, I don't know what's happening. But now I want to see what's going on with Maurice. Did we get Maurice? We didn't get none of Maurice this episode. Oh, but looky here, what we got at the airport. Preston. Preston has come to this airport yet again to stress us out. Because he just wants to be with Danny. He want to be with her so bad, y'all. I mean, so bad that he even goes on to tell her a story about this woman named Mindy. Now, Mindy, he met her when she was a little girl, because they went to grade school together. And nobody, I said nobody, has loved him the way Mindy has loved him, okay? So, don't even worry. Danny, you ain't got nothing on Mindy's love. But nonetheless, he said that he had to get out of there so that way he can see what else is in the world. He wanted to get a taste of the world, so he had to leave Mindy back home. And, I guess that is when he met Danny. Now, he goes on to say, I'm going to go back home and I'm going to marry Mindy. Yep, I'm going to go ahead, marry her. I said, well, nigga, did you keep tabs on her this whole time you was with Danny? The whole time you was messing around with Danny, was you like keeping tabs on Mindy? Did you have eyes on her to make sure she wasn't dating nobody? What the hell? So he then goes on to talk about how, Danny, if you tell me to stay, I won't go. I said, Danny, tell the man sayonara. I'm tired of Preston. Preston can go. Preston, it's been a good run, but it's over. As much as I wanted Danny to try to make it work with Preston, Tyler has written his character so terribly to be begging and pleading for Danny, and she keeps saying, no, it's over. Let it go. The same way we needed Calvin to let it go with Sabrina. The same way we needed Gary to let it go with Andy. We need Aaron to let it go with Karen. We need Karen to let it go with Zach. And Preston, we need you to let it go with Danny. All these women need new men. Well, besides Fatima. But all of them need new men. But you know what? That was where the episode ended. Now, y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. And if you like my content, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Please know that I'm going to have a lot more reviews coming because I just got BET Plus. So I'm definitely going to be reviewing Zatima next. That'll probably be up on my channel over the weekend. So, yeah, catch up with those reviews coming up. We'll talk to y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.